Well, we are really excited to have three very special guests with us today. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening for January with our Giving Back initiative. Here at Lemongrass, we believe in a world where human life is so very valued. And in places where it's not, there are caring individuals and organizations standing in the gap to love on people who've been hurt and protect those who are having an impact, negative impact with abuse and unfortunately human trafficking. So we would like to bring together three very caring, loving individuals who have extended themselves in their communities to help with this really important issue. We're here as a community to show our support of some organizations, and we're going to be working on education, prevention, and rescue efforts for boys, girls, men, and women across this country who've been victims of abuse. So today we're introducing three outstanding women, Charity, Rebecca, and Jane, and they're going to be sharing their stories and also encouraging you, if you're interested, to take action through our Human Kindness campaign in January. So welcome to the call, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. Many of you have met or have heard the name Jane Tristane. She's part of our leadership. She's a director here at Lemongrass Spa, as well as Rebecca Scogan, and I'm thrilled and honored to have them, as well as Charity. So let's go ahead and get started with you, Jane. Share a little bit about how you got involved with the organization in your area and what you've been doing over the last couple years to actually help in your community get involved with the prevention and awareness of human trafficking.
Great. Thanks for having me, Heidi. I am so excited to be here. Prior to going to a women's conference 3 years ago, I knew about human trafficking. I really never was involved with it at all. I didn't know much about it. And I was at this fantastic women's retreat over a weekend. And after our main speaker on Saturday night was finished, a friend of mine asked if she could speak for a couple minutes, went to the front of the room and had this cardboard box. And she was asking everybody, I'm working with my, church, and we're doing some mission trips down to inner city Detroit to help human trafficking victims. And anybody that isn't using their toiletries out of their room, would you mind donating them? Because they were taking food, they were taking clothing, they were praying with these men and women and teenage kids on the streets. They were taking them meals, providing them with, some soap, some shampoo, things like that, that they wouldn't otherwise get. So she, asked everybody, and she had this cardboard box, and people just filled it with all the love. They threw their toiletries in there that they weren't using. And after that night, I thought to myself, I'd been with Lemongrass, I don't know, maybe not quite 6 months. And I thought, we have all these products as well. And why not show some love to them with clean, natural products? I mean, it was amazing that they were given what they were given. Anything was great. But, these men and women and kids, they deserve the same thing that we take, and use on ourselves every day. So after that weekend, I contacted my friend Monica and I said, I'd really love to do a fundraiser for you with these products that, I use and I share with other people. I narrowed down products that people could use, soap, lotion, deodorant, lip balm, and I put together a little kit. So my little kit I had called Shelter Me, because I thought, this kit, you could use it for natural disasters, for people that were in shelters from hurricanes, from tornadoes, homeless shelters, abuse, human trafficking, the whole 9 yards. We held this fundraiser, And I sent her a half a dozen of the kits. I sent her a bunch of catalogs. We did the whole, just, it was like a giant party. And she shared it with her church, and people purchased kits. Um, and in a nutshell, I put the kits together and I mailed them down, and they handed them out to people that they were ministering to out, in the streets of Detroit. So Heidi called me, and I will never forget this because it was like I was frozen. She had thought of the name Human Kindness Kit, which was perfect, perfect. And having a bar of soap was great, but honestly, being on the street, it's just not practical. So we switched the soap out for the prebiotic facial wash, and the Human Kindness Kit was born from there. And I just, for me as a consultant, I was so thrilled that we had a CEO that listened to all the things that we're doing and what people want and what they need, and to actually implement something like that. So I'm super grateful to be here, and to be a little part of this big whole. So thank you so much, Heidi, for having me today.
You're welcome, Jane. Thank you for all your efforts and really helping spearhead this. This is one of those issues in our country and in the entire world where people say to themselves, I don't know what to do. I want to do something, but I don't know what. And so we're here to kind of brainstorm with each and every one of you listening on a direction that you can go. So thank you so much, Jane. Always a joy and pleasure working with you, and your gracious heart, and always willing to give back to those in your community. So today we also have Rebecca, and Rebecca, you're calling in from Montana, and I know you have been very involved in an organization in your local community. Tell us a little bit more, Rebecca.
Thanks, Heidi, for allowing us to come on and share these stories. It's pretty amazing how all this is happening. I have been working with an organization called the Lifeguard Group for about 2 years now. I helped them. We did a fundraiser last Christmas, and I was able to send them I want to say close to 50 of the Human Kindness kits. And Lowell, the gentleman who runs this organization, contacted me and said, "Hey, would you want to do that again this year?" And I was like, "Of course." I think he contacted me back in August or September and said, "Well, here's the deal. I'm going to want about 3,000 of those kits." How do you wrap your head around that? It's a huge number. And I was honestly afraid to even go to Heidi and ask her if that was something that was even possible. So granted, we've got the first 700 done. They're being delivered. They're being put into the hands of these women that need them, but it's a huge number. We are talking to women. We're talking to people as we start to talk about this campaign, but we're also talking about real people. Okay. So, I mean, it's easy to think of trafficking victims as just, a charity or somebody we're helping, but they're real people. You're going to really become passionate about it. At least it has been for me. Something else I've learned is that for some reason, this is sort of a divisive issue for people. I would wish and I would hope that this is an issue that the majority of people could get behind, but that's not the case always. So it's so important that we're bringing awareness. And now Charity is going to be coming on, and she's going to be giving you some amazing information. And just to raise awareness, this is a humongous issue. We're not just talking about women and girls. We're talking about men and boys too. It's a huge issue. I've learned so much. I've become very passionate about this, and I can't wait to see what we can do as an organization in January for this.
So I wanted to introduce our third speaker today, Charity Parenson. And we chatted with the three of you last week, and I was so impressed, so inspired. So was my team when we did this. And Charity, you brought a great perspective to light, and also kind of how you are using your platform and your experience and expertise to draw attention to this issue as well. So tell us a little bit about what's going on, Charity, with some of the work that you're doing.
Hi, everybody. I'm Charity, and I actually am a lemongrass consultant. And the whole reason I got into lemongrass, well, there's two reasons why. I was introduced to the product through Rebecca and my mother-in-law, Diane, who's on the call. Hi. But the reason I got involved with lemongrass is honestly because I wanted to raise more money for my human trafficking projects. So I'm a media producer by trade. I am a professional actor and writer. I create media. I'm a producer on documentaries and different things. But 7 years ago, I started what's called the America Unchained Project. We do live presentations and we do a lot of online training. And the biggest reason we started it was because there are 3 key professional groups that engage with human trafficking victims on a regular basis. And they are teachers, law enforcement officers, and medical professionals. However, we have come to realize through our own personal lives that the key players in this that are passionate, that care, that want to know are often moms. Moms want to know. So we have expanded our training and are really honing in, especially because so many kids are home, they're online, they have to be online for school. Even when they go back to maybe a tangible school, they're required to be online all the time. So we now have expanded what we see as the everyman, and that everyman is really who's empowered to do this and who's passionate to get the word out. As much as there's amazing medical professionals, I've worked with hundreds of them, hundreds and hundreds. They love their profession and they want to play their role in this. Women really do. This is just something that once you open that door, you aren't going to ignore it anymore. However, what I love about what we do, what the America Unchained Project does, is we thin the information to the most needed and actionable. So every week we send out a new resource that you can it's very simple. It's very digestible, like 5 minutes or less, and then it's actionable. So that's what we do. So girls ages 11 to 14 are the most victimized members of our society. Okay, and the second most victimized group are boys ages 6 to 9. That is a horrendous stat, but it's absolutely true. In fact, most human trafficking victims are victims because they are available to have access to on some level. You know, when I was growing up, I went on a mission trip to Thailand and I was 19. I saw the brothels there. I saw the girls there. And in my mind, I made this an over there problem. And when 7 years ago, I started this project, I had been working on a project that was really trying to bring awareness to the fact that this is a here and now in America problem. With child pornography, it is an international gateway to any child who has a cell phone, tablet, laptop. This is a camera, and it's a gateway to people who can get to your child. So these classes, again, we don't overwhelm people. We don't want to scare anybody. I am anti-fear. I am hope. I am light. That is why I started this. I used to look at human trafficking websites, and I'm just going to be very honest. They're very black and red and dark. And every picture is someone who looks like you just want to go hug them and steal them away. But that's not what we want. We want people to see the truth, and then the truth open up a floodgate of ideas, and they go, where's my part? I want to play my part. I don't need to play anyone else's part. So I do media. That's my role. I used to research human trafficking all the time, and I was set free from doing that because I can only play my part. Anyone on this call that's watching, we can only do our thing. If you can get the word out, you can read how to keep your kids guarded and protected. You can pass that information on to a mom. It's really a domino effect. It's like one big million-piece puzzle. And if everyone plays their one puts their one piece in that puzzle, it's complete. We don't have to worry about anyone else's puzzle. We don't have to worry about the 1,000 pieces someone else might be doing. That's not, we're each individuals called to do something different. And there should be a weight lifted off your shoulders when you think of it that way. But 68% of kids are left online to free range. 68%. I mean, that's insane. We've all done it. We've all used screens to babysit the kids. That's not really the issue. The issue is more the unfettered free ranging of kids online. And when they are in a chat room, if they're gaming with people online, whatever it is, that's a gateway to them. It creates a relationship. And just like Rebecca said, relationship is everything. And these predators know it. They're not going to pull up in front of your house in a van, grab your kid and go. They're going to do a much more savvy job of developing a relationship with them, pretending they're someone else. So again, we're not doom and gloom, we're hope and light. We feel like our media empowers people with the information they need to know. And ladies, I get so excited because I didn't know anything about any of this when I became a consultant. I was just like, how can I help these women? How can I get, and I actually know Lowell Hawk-Halter, who Rebecca knows. And he was like, there's this lady named Rebecca and she's amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's my upline. I know her. So it's kind of funny. Like we actually did not know the other one was doing this. So, I will give resources out because I don't want to weigh everybody down with too much information, but I just want to extend the fact that you're going to have questions. And that's good because that means you care. Questions mean you care. But sometimes taking a quick little class answers 99% of your questions. There are hundreds of thousands of victims in the United States. The most vulnerable groups are the kids that are left unguarded. That does include foster kids, absolutely includes homeless youth. It does include LGBTQ. And let's face it, that percent of kids is on the rise right now. We want to love and honor who everyone is, but we also want to know that we can play a part, even if it is through a lemongrass kit being donated to someone who can get it. They feel love. All day they know control, they know fear, but they don't know love. They don't know true love. Even a lot of these kids think they think their pimp is their boyfriend. Yeah, but it's true. They think this is my boyfriend and we're Romeo and Juliet and we're going to make this work. And these people just don't want us. But when they feel true love, it breaks through those lies and we are lie breakers. And that's kind of what we're all about. So it's AmericaUnchained.org is the organization. Heidi will have a way of getting all this information out to you. This will include weekly resources throughout the month of January and beyond, things you can post on social media. Rebecca was just talking about that, but I used to be like, where do I even start? It's free. We take care of it for you. They're free. You can just post them. You can feel like you're engaging the community. You can email us questions if you have them. We want to be a resource to you because we know what it's like to not know where to start. But you guys, this kit, I just want to say one thing about this kit. When Lowell and I were talking about lemongrass products, because he was so excited that Rebecca had done her kits, when he told me, and this is a man who's a chaplain for the police who goes around the country trying to rescue girls. He talks to them all the time. When he saw the Healing Elements balm, he literally almost jumped out of his skin. He said, when I saw that balm, he said, number one, it says the word healing on it. That was huge to him. He said, number two, he said, the physical manifestation of abuse on these women is on their skin. And I won't go into that on this phone call, but he said, I know that when they touch something that's called healing balm and they start rubbing that onto their skin, he's like, I can't explain it, but number one, it works. We all know it works. I use it on my kids. And he said, just the image of them getting this gift, putting it on, and it's salving and healing them. I mean, ladies, I could cry. I've met survivors. We can't wrap our head around their abuse, nor do we need to, but we do know what love looks like. And he's like, that product alone is a game changer psychologically for these women. And so I just want to encourage you. It seems small. The biggest lie you can buy is that it's not enough. This isn't going to be enough. This isn't going to do anything. This isn't going to help. I don't have anything to offer. This is just lotion. What does it matter? No. That's a lie, because every step of this healing process to free these women from the lies they're in begins with the smallest thing, the tiniest thing. And again, I know what it's like to have toddlers in the house and be so busy. But again, just those little social media posts, and I can easily cater them to Lemongrass. Again, that's not for right now. You can get them. We will make those available. But we just want to encourage you. We're your resource. We're here to help you help save these women.